Public transportation is a characteristic of every sizable city. Whether it's a subway in New York, the light rail in Denver, a streetcar in Vienna, or Kansas City soon to be, or a rickshaw in India, it's a way of life for many millions of people around the globe, and it's a way of life for many thousands of people in Kansas City. My goal today is to convince you that it should be a way of life for everybody in this room. I'm going to do that through articulating several reasons that I think hold a lot of weight. The first reason that I'd like to mention of why you should consider public transportation is that it's environmentally friendly. So take a look at this photo. Who hasn't seen that monster truck barreling down the road next to you, getting 5 miles per gallon, spewing monstrous plumes of smoke into the air? We need look not any farther than Kauffman Stadium or Arrowhead to see the numerous amounts of trucks that our fellow residents of the city are proud to drive. Don't they know that they can take public transportation to the K or to Arrowhead? How about this picture? I'm in fact surprised that Kansas City doesn't look like this. This is Los Angeles, and what you see, that haze, is pollution as a result of the far too numerous cars that they have driving around that city. So clearly environmental concern is a primary reason that you should consider public transportation. The second reason that I think is very reasonable is that you can meet a lot of new friends. And to articulate this, I'll give you the story of a friend of mine named Alyssa. She and I grew up together, went through middle school and high school together, and somewhat fell out of touch in the last couple of years, but last year I received a wedding invitation from her. And so as I'm opening the invite, I see the link to the couple's website, and I always go to the area where it says how they met, because that's kind of interesting. Tell me about this couple. Who's this guy, that's going to marry this long-time friend of mine? And as I'm reading the story, I find out that they both commuted a long distance into the city. They both sat at the same bus stop in the morning. They both took the same bus. And eventually that young man got the courage to strike up a conversation with that woman that always took the same bus with him, which turned into a friendship, which turned into a romance, and eventually ended up in a marriage. And so some people pay $50 a month for eHarmony when you could pay $1.50 a month to the KC ATA. Think about that. Our own club is also a beneficiary of meeting new friends on the bus. Some of you may not know that our own Jeff Owens and Bill Haythorpe struck up a friendship on a bus, and we're now lucky to call Bill an active member of our club because of that. These two stories are just the tip of the iceberg as it pertains to meeting friendly people on the public transportation system. In fact, I know that if I saw this gentleman, I would definitely strike up a conversation. In fact, I'd follow him off with that bus. The third reason is that you can practice many of your hobbies on public transportation. I mean, everybody has a hobby that we seem to neglect and don't spend enough time with. One of mine is reading. I love to read, whether it's the paper, whether it's my phone, or whether it's a book. And I can't do it as suave as this guy does it, kind of leaning against a pole just with a smirk on my face. But you can read. You can't do that while you're in your car, for sure. For the woman in the room, I know that makeup is a part of your daily routine. And one of the things that makes me pretty nervous is when I'm driving on the road and I pull up at a stoplight and I see the woman next to me with her visor down and just putting on her face while driving the car. People have banned texting and driving. I think if I were in politics, I would ban putting your makeup on and driving. But luckily, you can do that just as these women. On the public transportation system, it's safe for all. You don't have to worry about the public externality of putting your makeup on while driving. So think about that. How about this guy? This guy is a musician. I've been known to sing while driving, sing to the radio, but playing an instrument while driving, that would be harmful. That'd be like putting your makeup on in the car. And so this guy is, taking advantage of his time while playing the banjo or the guitar or whatever that actually is, while singing on his way to work. If he was really smart, he would take his feather cap and put it on the ground in front of him and make a few dollars as well. And then lastly, the last hobby, we call it a hobby, is this young lady. And she's very adventurous.
Oh.
Right
You know,
on.
who doesn't wish they had more time for yoga during the course of the natural day? So bring your yoga mat on the bus the next time you take it. Those are, all very solid reasons, whether it's environmentally friendly, you're meeting new friends, or whether you're just making time for hobbies. But I would argue that the last reason is likely the most important. And the last reason is this. It's simply because we can take public transportation, and that we need to realize that an affordable, efficient, and well-functioning system is a privilege, and we should all take advantage of that privilege. If you don't believe me, just ask these guys. Thank you.